Look at your closest friends, and you will see your financial future. This may sound simple, but it is one of the most uncomfortable truths about money that most people never want to accept. We like to believe that our financial situation is completely personal. We think it is about how hard we work, how smart we are, or the opportunities we get. But the truth is far deeper than that. Your money life is not shaped by you alone. It is quietly shaped by the people you spend the most time with. Most people are not broke because they are lazy. They are broke because they are influenced. And the strongest influence does not come from books, schools, or even social media. It comes from friends. The people you laugh with, eat with, talk with every day. They are shaping your mindset about money without even trying. Think about it. Have you ever gone out with friends when you had planned to save money? Or bought something expensive just because everyone else had it? Maybe a phone, clothes, or even lifestyle choices you did not truly need. It didn't feel like pressure in the moment. It felt normal. But that normal was not created by you. It was created by your circle. This is how financial habits are formed quietly. No one sits you down and tells you to spend recklessly. No one forces you to ignore your savings. Instead, you slowly adjust to what your friends consider normal. If your friends eat out often, you start eating out more. If they upgrade their lifestyle every time they earn money, you start believing that spending is the reward of success. If they joke about saving money or investing, you slowly stop taking it seriously too. And over time, something dangerous happens. You stop questioning your decisions. You start copying them instead. This is why two people with the same income can end up in completely different financial situations. It is not always about the amount they earn. It is about the environment they are in, because your environment silently defines your standards, and your standards define your financial direction. Even your idea of what is normal money behavior is not truly yours. It is borrowed. Borrowed from conversations, habits, and lifestyles of the people around you. And here is the part most people miss completely. You don't realize you are being influenced while it is happening. It feels like everyday life, normal conversations, normal outings, normal choices. But slowly, those normal moments are shaping something very powerful in the background, your financial future. And most people never realize they are being influenced every single day. The influence you don't notice. Most people think they make financial decisions alone. But if you observe carefully, you will realize something surprising. You don't spend money randomly. You spend money socially. Very few purchases come from pure need. Most spending decisions are shaped by people around you. You don't just wake up and decide to upgrade your phone, change your wardrobe, or go out for expensive meals. These decisions are often triggered by what you see, what you hear, and what feels normal in your friend circle. When your friends start eating out frequently, you slowly begin to feel like cooking at home is boring or outdated. When they start buying new clothes regularly, you start feeling like your current clothes are no longer enough. When they upgrade their phones or talk about new experiences, you start feeling like you are falling behind. Not because someone told you to spend, but because you are adjusting to match the environment you are in. This is how normal spending levels are created. Every friend group has a hidden financial standard. It is not spoken. It is not planned, but it exists. And over time, you naturally align yourself with it. If your friends spend at a high level, you will feel pressure to match that level just to fit in. Even when your income does not support it, you will stretch yourself just to avoid feeling left out. If your friends are careless with money, always spending without thinking about tomorrow, you begin to adopt the same mindset. It starts to feel normal to live only for today. And if your friends avoid financial growth altogether, if they never talk about saving, investing, building skills, or improving income, you also start slowing down without noticing. Your ambition becomes quiet. Your goals feel less urgent. Your financial growth starts to feel optional instead of necessary. The most powerful part of this influence is that it does not feel like pressure. No one directly tells you, spend your money. No one forces you to copy their lifestyle. Instead, it happens silently. Through jokes, through hangouts, through comparisons, through what is considered normal in the group. That is why it is so dangerous. Because anything silent is hard to fight. You cannot resist what you do not see. Over time, your financial behavior stops being fully yours. It becomes a reflection of the people you surround yourself with. You begin to mirror their habits, their choices, and even their mindset about money. And slowly, without realizing it, your financial decisions are no longer coming from your personal goals. They are coming from social influence. This is where financial control begins, quietly. How friends shape your money habits. Your money habits don't appear out of nowhere. They are shaped slowly through repetition, environment, and influence. And one of the strongest forces shaping those habits is your friends. If you look closely, your circle influences almost every financial behavior you have. How you save, how you spend, how you work, and even how you think about risk. Start with saving. Saving money is not just a financial decision, it is a mindset. If your friends never talk about saving, or they treat it like something unnecessary, you slowly begin to lose seriousness about it too. You may even start saying things like, "I will save later," or "there is no point right now." Not because you truly believe it, but because that is the energy around you. Now look at work ethic. If your friends are not focused on growth, if they prefer comfort over discipline, that mindset spreads quietly. You start delaying your own progress. You begin to postpone important actions like learning new skills, starting side income, or improving your career. Not because you are incapable, but because your environment makes urgency feel unnecessary. Risk-taking is also shaped the same way. If your friends avoid taking smart financial risks, like investing, starting a business, or trying something new, you begin to see risk as something dangerous instead of something strategic. On the other hand, if your friends take careless risks, like spending recklessly or chasing quick money without thinking, you may also start normalizing that behavior. Either way, your judgment becomes influenced. Even spending discipline is not fully yours. If your circle has poor spending control, you start lowering your own discipline to fit in. If they buy impulsively, you begin to justify your own impulsive choices. Slowly, your financial boundaries weaken. This is how powerful influence really is. It does not just change what you do, it changes what you think is acceptable. Friends who delay growth will make you delay growth too. When people around you are always planning to start later, your own urgency disappears. You begin to feel like time is not that important. Friends who joke about saving money will slowly make you stop taking saving seriously. What starts as humor becomes belief. And what becomes belief eventually becomes behavior. Friends who chase quick enjoyment, constant outings, spending, and temporary pleasure will slowly push you to prioritize pleasure over progress. You begin to choose today's comfort over tomorrow's stability. And here is the truth most people miss completely. Your income is not just about your skills. It is also about your environment. You can be highly skilled, but still financially stagnant if your environment pulls you in the wrong direction. Because environment shapes consistency, and consistency shapes results. Your habits are not fully yours. They are borrowed from your circle. The cost of the wrong friend circle. The wrong friend circle does not destroy your finances overnight. It does something more dangerous. It slows them down quietly until you no longer recognize your own potential. One of the first signs is stagnation. You stop making real financial progress. Not because you stopped working, but because your habits stopped evolving. Months pass, even years, and your income may move slightly, but your financial situation feels the same. There is no real growth, no structure, no direction, just repetition. Then comes debt. Not always from big mistakes, but from small attempts to fit in. You try to match lifestyles that your income cannot support. A night out here, an upgrade there, a small purchase just to keep up. Individually, they feel harmless, but combined, they slowly pull you into financial pressure. You start borrowing, delaying bills, or living from one payment to the next, not because you are careless, but because you are trying to belong. At the same time, opportunities begin to disappear, not because they are not available, but because your focus is divided. Time that could be used to learn, build, or improve is spent on distractions, conversations, outings, entertainment, and habits that feel normal but do not move you forward. And while you are busy maintaining social comfort, others are quietly building their future. This leads to something even deeper: low ambition. When you are constantly surrounded by people who are not thinking about financial growth, your own vision starts shrinking. Big goals start feeling unrealistic. Planning for long-term success feels unnecessary. You begin to settle without realizing you are settling. And slowly, your mindset adjusts to your environment. You still say you want success, but your actions no longer match your words, because the people around you are not living in a way that supports that vision. Think about it clearly. You want to save money, but your friends are always inviting you out. Every plan sounds like spending. Every weekend becomes an expense. You start choosing between your goals and your relationships, and most of the time, relationships win. You want to invest and build something for the future, but your friends prefer spending today. So even when you feel motivated, that energy fades in conversations that normalize instant enjoyment over long-term thinking. You want discipline, but your environment normalizes waste. Wasting time, wasting money, wasting energy, it all starts to feel normal. And when waste feels normal, discipline feels extreme. This is the hidden cost. It is not that you are lazy. It is that your environment makes discipline harder than it should be. You are constantly trying to grow in an environment that pulls you back, and slowly, without noticing, your financial future starts shrinking. How to take back control? The good news is this: you are not trapped by your environment forever. Even if your current friend circle has influenced your money habits, your mindset, and your decisions, you still have the power to take back control. But it starts with one important shift. You must become intentional about who influences you. You do not necessarily need to cut everyone off or isolate yourself. That is not the message. The real change begins when you become aware, when you start observing instead of blindly participating, when you start asking yourself, is this helping my future or just entertaining my present? The first step is simple but powerful. Choose friends who inspire growth. Spend more time with people who think about improvement, not just enjoyment. People who talk about ideas, skills, building income, and creating opportunities. When you are around that kind of mindset, it slowly lifts your own thinking without force. At the same time, you must learn to limit the influence of financially careless people. Not hate them, not judge them, but become aware of how much access they have to your decisions. Not every invitation needs a yes. Not every plan needs your participation. Sometimes protecting your future means politely saying no without guilt, because guilt is one of the biggest tools that keeps people stuck. You feel bad for missing out, so you say yes to things that pull you backward financially. But real growth requires the ability to disappoint your old habits in order to build a better future. You also need to spend more time with ambitious minds. Even if they are not perfect, even if they are still growing, ambition is contagious. When you are around people who are trying, building, and thinking long-term, your own standards begin to rise. You start believing that more is possible for you too. And most importantly, you must learn this identity shift. Your future changes when your environment changes. Your financial life is not only a result of effort, it is a result of association. You don't rise by accident, you rise by association. The people you align with will either stretch your vision or shrink it. So pause and reflect honestly. Look at your circle. Look at your habits. Look at your spending patterns. Ask yourself if they are leading you toward freedom or keeping you in cycles you don't want. And if the answer makes you uncomfortable, that discomfort is not a problem. It is a signal that something in your environment needs to change if your future is going to change. Because at the end of the day, your financial destiny is not just written by your income or your job. It is shaped quietly every day by the people closest to you. Choose wisely who gets to influence your life, because they are also shaping your future.